It's the Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be pod-smacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the show. Glad to be here on already the 8th of March. The 8th of March, 2018. And we've got a lot of stuff to get to. A lot of video. I'm going to play a lot of video tonight. It's going to be fun. Commentary, comedy, some political talk. Nothing wrong with that. We are actually at the intersection, I think the ideal intersection of politics and pop culture with Donald Trump at the White House. And so I want to say hello already to Tracy and Mary and Harold joining me tonight, and Linda. We had all sorts of giant views last night, all sorts of emojis flying across the screen, and we're going to give you every opportunity to enjoy this broadcast as the show progresses. The things we're going to cover we're going to talk about what's going on in California with regard to immigration and the fact that the United States is suing California, saying that you can't have sanctuary cities. And I'm not a cold, heartless person, okay? I think if you've been living here, if you came here and your parents brought you here when you were a baby, and you've lived here your entire life, it would be unfair to send you to a third world country, okay? And I also think that if somebody has been here for 30 years and they've been law-abiding citizens and they have families and they have kids at home and all that, while there should be some sort of punishment for that, and I think that should come with, a lack of voting privileges for however long, maybe a decade. I said this years ago. It does no good to separate families, all right? It does no good to take a family that dad sneaked in 30 years ago as a 20-year-old. He's lived and paid taxes, and he's got kids here. And they're going to hate this if you're a conservative. I'm sorry. It does no good to send that dad back to a third-world hellhole, separate the family. And I'm just saying this because for the kids' sake. The kids' sake. Is there a punishment that should be meted out? Yes. You came here illegally. A punishment should be meted out. I think the biggest punishment would be, you don't vote, baby. Sorry, you're never gonna be an official citizen. You're not gonna get to vote. Sorry, it's just the way it is. But I don't want your kids to be raised alone while you wait. And why in the hell does it take 10 years for anybody to get into the country? All right? Why does this take 10 effing years? The government is unbelievable. So there's got to be a solution to this. I'm very disappointed the mayor of Oakland. The ICE was going in, and they were going after outstanding warrants for people who here are illegally. Most of them had criminal records. The mayor of Oakland basically broadcast and said, ICE is coming, hide. Whereas ICE would have been able to find hundreds of people with criminal records, assault, DUI, whatever, gang membership, violence, drug dealing, whatnot. They got a warning from her. And what she did was illegal, kids. What she did was illegal. And by the way, if you are enforcing immigration, 40 years ago, even 20 years ago, no matter what side of the political aisle you were on, you once, or at least politicians once said that we need to enforce our borders, and we want the best and the brightest to come here. So, I think there's got to be some sort of a medium here, right? Can we do that? Linda in Idaho once again. How you doing? Good to have you here joining me. Tracy's in the room again. Wonderful to have you guys. Look at the emojis flying across here. You guys are absolutely awesome. We set all sorts of viewership records last night. Before I get into anything else, I do want to mention something, all right? There is something I need you to do if you are not following us on Facebook in the correct manner, all right? Now, here is what I want to show you. I want you to pay attention. This is my guest camera. I want you to pay attention to this video because this is how I need you to follow us on American Journal Review, The American Patriot. All right? This is how I need you to follow us. Pay attention to this. Go to follow. You liked us. Good. Go to following. Do not go to default. Get rid of default and go to see first. There you go. See that, kids? That's what we need you to do if we can get past this algorithm from Facebook that's crushing independent publishers. Okay, so that's what I need you to do today. All right, I need you to do that. If you haven't done that on American Journal Review, the American Patriot, the sundry Facebook pages associated with it, because right now libertarian and conservative publishers are being attacked. And so if you want true freedom of speech, and I don't care if you're liberal or conservative, you cannot support shutting down one or the other. You either shut them all down or you say both have to be allowed. All right? So that's what I'm saying. Just do that. When you follow us, go to the see first thing and get rid of the default. All right? That would be cool. Joanne. Hello, Joanne. Glad to have you here tonight. Ryan also watching tonight. Hello there, Ryan. Seth Holmes as well. Good to have you joining me tonight. Also want to mention you, I'm also on Twitch, TWITCH / Rob Carson Show. If you would follow me there, it would be a gift. It really would be a gift, because I'm trying to become a publisher and I'm trying to become an affiliate. So it would help me. It would be a step closer to making a living doing what I do. And right now, it's very tough to make a living doing this. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about what's happening in the state of California with regard to illegal immigration with sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities, by the way, are federally, they are illegal. It is illegal to have a sanctuary city. And again, I'm not a hardliner on families living here and all that stuff. But we have to have some sort of immigration rules, because why are immigration rules there? Who do the immigration rules protect in our country? Would you like to take a guess? Our country's citizens. That's what they're there for. Our country's citizens are the ones who are supposed to be protected by our immigration rules. That's number one. That's number one. The protection of our citizens. That's it. It's not about giving opportunities to whoever wants to come in the country and all that stuff. Not the case. Not the case. This is about protecting our citizens. That's what it is 100% of the time. And when you declare a sanctuary city, that your city is a sanctuary city, you are discarding the rights of the citizens who already live there. All right? You are the citizenry, particularly birth citizenry, or that has been earned by people through sweat and toil and money and all that stuff. They get number one priority. But unfortunately, in sanctuary cities like San Francisco, it's not the case. Or Oakland, California. I've got some audio from or video, I should say, from the mayor of Oakland, California, because the United States, the federal government is suing California. And they're saying that you cannot have sanctuary city status. Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf went after Attorney General Jeff Sessions in a statement defending her decision to help illegal aliens escape, and this is wrong. A lot of the people who were targeted by ICE were not targeted because they came here illegally. They were targeted because they came here illegally and they committed crimes. But the mayor basically said, ICE is coming, go hide. And consequently, there were people who committed serious crimes who were able to escape what ICE was doing. Here is the mayor of Oakland basically calling out the Attorney General of the United States for following the law.
How dare you vilify members of our community by trying to frighten the American public into thinking that all undocumented residents are dangerous criminals?
That is absolutely not the case. That is absolutely not the case. That is not the case. Nobody is saying that all people here who are illegally are criminals. Nobody's saying that. Nobody is saying that. Nobody is wholesale going after illegal immigrants. They're not. This was ICE going after people who have been here illegally, but also have committed crimes here. So, please, honestly, as far as the condescension, as far as the whatever you're trying to do, Give me a break. All right? Give me a break. Here's a little bit more from, hold on, let me see if I here. I don't know why I lost this for some reason. Here's a little bit more. Oh, there we are. Here's a little bit more from the Bay.
Law-abiding Oaklanders like Eusebio and Maria Sanchez, who you ripped away from their American-born children, and the cancer patients at our public hospital who relied on Maria's nursing skills every day. How dare you distract the American people from a failed immigration system?
Well, great. Then let's fix it. Can we fix it, at least, Mayor? I think there are people actually wanting to fix it. I want to fix it. I want to streamline the thing. Why should it cost so damn much? Why should it become take a decade for people to become citizens here? I have dear friends in Washington, D.C. from France. And it is a long and arduous process to get in here. They're fine, outstanding people. They did it the right way, though.
That tears apart decent families and forces the workers that our economy depends on to harvest our crops, deliver our services.
Get a work visa. That's cool. There's a way to do it. Just you get a work visa. We value their labor as well. We do.
And build our cities to live in fear and work under oppressed conditions.
Well, you can blame a lot of businesses for doing that. And when you come here illegally, all right, when you come here illegally and you are illegal in the country, those are the kind of abuses that people are going to meet on you. It is wrong, don't get me wrong, but when you're here illegally, that's what happens. And it sucks. Again, we have to overhaul the immigration system altogether. I'm with you.
How dare you distort the reality about declining violent crime in a diverse sanctuary city?
San Francisco is actually imploding on itself. It is a frigging mess, all right? So don't act like this is some sort of a distortion.
Like Oakland, California.
Oh, Oakland, by the way, Oakland is Oakland is lovely. Wow.
Racist agenda.
There we go. We use the word racism. When you use the word racism, I think you lose the argument. I think it's a sign that you're losing the argument. I think it's a sign you lose the argument. Here's the thing. We need to fix the immigration system. All right? For years, politicians have been using it as a political football. They have. Has immigration been fixed, guys? Has immigration been fixed? No, it hasn't been fixed. You know why? Because there are a lot of people who don't want to fix it. There are a lot of people who don't want to fix it. All right? Finally, you got this president. You may like or dislike this president. I think he's doing a great job. Do I like him as a person? No, not particularly. Would I want to hang out with him? No, not really. But here's it. We have laws on the books right now that need to be enforced while they're the laws on the books. And if you really think these laws are so unjust, guys, fix them. That's what you do. You fix them. Here is Judge Andrew Napolitano talking about what's going on in California and how illegal it is.
So there's two statutes in play here. One, I think the federal government will lose the challenge on, and the statute will be upheld. The other is so blatantly unconstitutional it should be thrown out immediately. First statute, the government of California has said to everybody that works for the government, local, county, regional, and state, if ICE comes knocking, you can't lie, but you can't cooperate. Mm-hmm. You can't hide, but you shouldn't communicate. Typical case. Somebody comes here from another country on a visa. They overstay it. They're here for years. They commit a crime. They get arrested. They're about to be bailed out. ICE says, we'll save you, state of California, the cost of prosecuting this person. Give him to us. He'll be back in his home country in 24 hours. California says, forget about it. We're not going to tell you who he is or where he is. They can do that. I think it's reckless, wrong, and dangerous, but it's lawful. The second statute prohibits private business owners from cooperating with ICE. You own a sporting goods shop, you own a restaurant, you own a bookstore. ICE comes by and says, we're looking for this person. Can you help us out? If you answer, if you speak, you've committed a crime. That is so profoundly unconstitutional. Attorney General Sessions said this yesterday. It should be invalidated immediately before there's even a trial.
Okay. Again, We need to fix the system while we have these laws in order. We need to follow through with the law. I'll said what I said at the very beginning of the broadcast, and I think we're having a little bit of stop and start on the video, and I apologize. I'm going to get rid of a couple of streams here real quick. I've gotten rid of that one, so we're no longer on Rob Carson's show on Facebook. Let me go ahead and get rid of. Okay, that's okay. You're done. Get out of there. Okay, get off my computer. Don't make any noise. Don't make any noise. Goodbye. And then we'll get off of Rob Carson as well. Get off of Rob Carson. That's pretty funny. Yes, I can. All right. So, there's Napolitano talking about what's going on. And honestly, I'm not cruel and heartless. Should families who've been here forever and had their children here, children here, be separated and sent back to third world country? I don't think so, guys. I just don't. It does no good. It does no good for parents or for children to be separated from their families, because those kids were born here. Those kids were born here. They were raised here. They're like you and my kids. They just happen to have parents who came here illegally. I don't think it's fair to the children. Some people will say, yeah, but you know what? I mean, a lot of parents will go to jail if they commit a crime. They go to jail and they're separated from the children. This is a crime. I get it, but it's not murdering somebody. All right. This is something that there should be punishment associated with it. I do believe it has to do with the vote and some privileges with being a naturalized citizen. They have to go away. But it does no good to separate families from people who have been here and who have had their children here or brought their children here very young. It doesn't do any good. All it's going to do is put the burden on you and me as taxpayers when mom and dad are sent back to Nicaragua or Venezuela or wherever that they escaped and did it illegally. Doesn't do any good to separate the families. You can disagree with me. I know... I'll just tell you, I know that people who are very conservative don't like that opinion. They do. But honestly, I think we have to have a little bit of wiggle room here, all right? A little bit of wiggle room here. It does no good to separate families. It just doesn't do any good, and it certainly wouldn't do any good to send children raised here, speak fluent English, have been in school, to suddenly send them to a third world hellhole. Would destroy their lives, and that's not appropriate. It's not appropriate. All right. Let's move on to some other stuff. I want to get into a little bit about. I think that's all of the immigration stuff that I have. But like I said, it is. I just think there's got to be enforce the laws that are on the books, and if you don't like the effing laws, change the laws. All right, there you go. I'll just say that. To Democrats who don't like the fact that Jeff Sessions and Donald Trump are saying we're going to enforce the laws that are on the books, change the laws. All right. Work to come up with a compromise. We have some of that going on in Washington, D.C. now for the very first time in a long time. If you don't like the laws, change the laws. But in the meantime, we must enforce the law. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Am I making common sense to you? All right. Common sense. The problem with common sense, folks, is that it's not common anymore. It's just not common anymore. Real quick, before we go any further, I want to introduce our sponsor, Pit Barrel Cooker. Pit Barrel Cooker. It is a glorious cooker. It is available, liberty1tv.com/cooker. If you would order from here, right here, liberty1tv.com/cooker, you're going to get a glorious cooker that is made by a veteran, came back from Iraq, and he had suffered PTSD, and he was welcomed back with his troop, and his name's Noah Glanville. And they made barbecue for him, and he said after all the carnage, all the horrors that he saw over there, he smelled barbecue, and he realized that he was home, and he said, honey, I've got to do something. I've got to do something to keep from these demons from haunting me that have haunted me. And you know what you see in battle? I've never experienced. But he said to his wife, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. And so they created this. They started in a garage, then they moved to a Quonset hut. And now they're making the best frickin' cookers in the country. You can barbecue, you can get these skewers that hang shish kebabs in there. You hang the meat in the smoker, and it surrounds the meat with smoke and with heat. And it's glorious. And all you got to do is put charcoal in the bottom and wood if you want it, and just leave it alone. It's glorious. And if you want to use it just as a grill, there you go. Order one of these. Father's Day's coming up. They've got a big one right here. That's the classic. That's what I got. They got a smaller version you can use for tailgating. And just go to liberty1tv.com/cooker. If you would order from there, we get credit for it. We'd really appreciate it if you do that. And thank you in advance. Thank you in advance. So there's a lot of gun control stuff going on, and there's a lot of craziness going on out there, and there's a lot of overreaction with regard to what happened in Florida, and a lot of people are, doing what we always do. We're screaming for answers. It doesn't make any sense. Things like Parkland don't make any sense because this isn't how the world should be. And so we grasp at straws, and some people grasp at straws like get rid of all guns. Okay. Some people grasp at straws like we need metal detectors in schools, which is stupid because the Parkland shooter, Nicholas Cruz, would have just walked in and said, oh, there's a metal detector, like that's going to stop me? So that was stupid. Unfortunately, that was weeded out pretty quickly, right? It was weeded out pretty quickly. And then we considered this kind of what happened after 9/11. What happened 9/11? Some people are saying, what we need to do is we need to make it more difficult to get into school. Okay, so hardened entryways, stuff like that. Okay, identification, the whole deal, which my kids' schools have. And then we need to arm people. Then we need to possibly have veterans who are retired veterans in schools, or police officers in schools, or maybe even allow teachers to conceal carry if they choose to do so. Okay? Same thing after 9/11. Same thing. Made it more difficult to get on an airplane. I mean, TSA going through security, which, by the way, is a joke. They see you naked in a little spinny thing with your hands up. And that's just so humiliating, especially on a cold day. Really humiliating for me. I don't know. It's like, wow, I wouldn't be too afraid of that weapon. Anyway, and then when you go through that, then you get on the airplane, and there's a hardened door. If you were born after 1999 or 2001, you don't realize that the cockpit doors are now metal. There was no metal door on the cockpit. There was a little flimsy door on the cockpit. It's metal now. You can't get into that cockpit anymore. It's very, very incredibly difficult to get to the door. That happened after 9/11. Maybe if you don't know that, if you're a young millennial, that's what it was. Oh, and another thing, they put armed air marshals on the flights. Now, it wasn't on all the flights, but it was on some of the flights. So that's what they're talking about with schools, is putting ex-military, et cetera, into the schools, right? So the same approach after 9/11 was the same approach that some people said we should do after what happened in Florida, all right? Look at all the love we're getting here. Look at all the people who are joining us. We got William Finnerty, who just won a fantastic humidor from me for watching Rob Carson's Table, which I do on Saturdays, normally at 3 o'clock. Seth Holmes is yelling, hello, I saw you. Milton Esterbrooks, how are you doing, brother? Good to have you joining me tonight. Please share, guys, if you would. We had a big discussion last night about how Facebook is shutting down conservative commentators and publishers, and we're not going to take it. We ain't going to take it. So your love means a lot. It really, really does. It means a lot to me, and I thank you for joining me tonight. Students around the country are going to be walking out of their schools in protest for action on guns. And this is gun control, guys. This has been put together for the Women's March, Youth Empower. The Women's March, this was largely George Soros-driven, very radical left, associated with the Antifa, associated with Occupy, which came out a few years ago. I saw Occupy in downtown D.C., a stinky, smelly, awful, fascistic movement, and that's what it was all about. Those same people are behind this, and now they're using children. So you're not going to get a balance in Washington, D.C. You're going to get cries of get rid of guns, stop the Second Amendment, we hate the NRA. And coming up, by the way, the cast of a very popular TV show, which I love, they did a PSA ripping the NRA. They have the right to do that. And I have the right to say I'm not going to watch the show. It's hard to do because I really love the show. I'm going to play who that is in just 1 second, okay? So don't go. If you want to see who it is, like I said, they have every right in the world to say it. I have every right to say, BS. March 14th. And I'm glad they're having a march in March. It makes sense, right? March 14th, 10 a.m., students, faculty, other supporters will leave school for 17 minutes for each of the victims of the Parkland shooter. And nearly 200,000 people are expected to participate nationwide, including students from schools in Israel, Ireland, and Mexico. We are living in an age when young people like us do not feel safe in our schools. This issue is personal for all of us, especially for those who are survivors of gun violence. We are all walking out for all people who have experienced gun violence, including systemic forms of gun violence that disproportionately impact teens in black and brown communities. You got to throw race in there. And by the way, those are crimes committed by black and brown kids. They are. The murder rate's 10 times higher in African-American communities. That's just the way it is. So whatever, you want to address that, that's fine. And usually it's with illegal guns. It is important that we refer to gun violence. We do not refer to gun violence. We do not overlook the impact of police brutality and military policing. Here we go. This is where it gets all political. And this is why they go after the police. They go after the police with this faux narrative about the police. And so this is where it turns, and it's not the kids talking. This is not children talking. This is not children in high school who are scared of shooters coming and killing them. This is part of this radical leftist movement, and it's a load of crap. Or see how police in schools is the solution. Why the hell not? We also recognize the United States has exported gun violence through imperialist foreign policy to destabilize other nations. Now you've lost me. Now it's completely over. Now it's a joke. Now you're nothing more than a bunch of leftists fueled by George Soros money, and you're a bunch of socialists, and you're a bunch of communists, and you're a bunch of Antifa, and the worst thing is you're using children. You're using children. Dear God, listen to this pap, this dangerous pap. We raise our voices for action against all these forms of gun violence. Any kids, do you suppose, in Florida, in that school, once we recognize the United States has exported gun violence through imperialist foreign policy to destabilize other nations, what the hell does that have to do with a madman entering a school, the local authorities, the administrators at the school, and the FBI completely effing up everything when they had 70 different opportunities to stop this kid from doing it? What the hell does that have to do with exporting imperialist policies? Jesus, God in heaven. Are you out of your effing mind? And they're going to use kids for this. What does exporting gun violence through imperialist foreign policy to destabilize other nations have to do with any kids who were shot or wounded or died in Florida? I am so bloody ticked off at this moment about using children, about busing in children for this. Busing in children to Washington, D.C. for this? Are you nuts? No kids there will be allowed to speak on stage if they support strengthening security, possibly allowing some teachers who volunteer to conceal carry. None of those kids will be allowed to speak. It'll be like Forrest Gump when he's standing there on the National Mall and the guy goes over and the general goes over and unplugs the guy speaking. It'll be just like that. When a kid gets up there and says, you know what, I don't support recognizing the United States has exported gun violence through imperialist foreign policy to destabilize other nations. Really? I wonder what kind of hat they're going to come up with. You know, they had the pink P word hat. What's this hat going to look like? You know, unbelievable. Look at all the comments. Look at all the love. You guys are the best. Keep sharing. I appreciate it. You want to know the TV sitcom family that they're going to decide to be political, which is laughable because the show is wonderful. I love the show. I love it. I've spent many nights laughing my ass off at this show. I love this show. All right. Do I find what the cast says here offensive? Sure. Do I want the show taken off the air because of it? Nah. If I decide not to watch the show again because of this, I don't know, because I can separate myself from the characters and say, you know what, you disagree with me? You disagree with me? But I like the show so damn much. Now, Stephen Colbert, I don't watch. I just don't like him. Every night's the same crap. His show is about politics, but it's very left leaning, and I choose not to watch it. You know, this is a show that I really, really enjoy. Are you ready to see the family, the cast that's protesting gun violence? And this will make your blood boil. If you're pro Second Amendment, it will. But again, I think the show is damn funny because it's just the show, and I can separate the show from the actors acting like idiots.
We send our condolences and support to the students of Parkland.
And people everywhere fighting for common sense gun laws.
Your bravery and resolve in response to this senseless tragedy inspires us and gives us hope.
Okay, so it is Modern Family. Obviously, it is Modern Family. It's a damn funny show. I love the show. I'll just on Cam and Mitchell, the gay couple. They are the funniest duo on television since Lucy and Desi. They are. They're absolutely brilliant. It's a wonderful show. Now, they have a political viewpoint that is different than mine. They have decided to use the bully pulpit of acting to deliver what I think is an idiotic, not terribly well thought out, typical left-leaning anti-gun PSA. And it goes the same. Listen, there's a cadence. Everybody says something, then it gets all rapid fire, and it sounds like every other PSA involving every celebrity. It's the same. Is this going to stop me from watching Modern Family? We never watch it in real time. I don't even know what day it's on. You know, and I like this, and I like Big Bang Theory. You know. Is it going to stop me? Can I separate myself from these doofuses here? The actors doing this idiotic PSA? I think I can, because I like the show. I sorry, you know. But they have every right to say what they say, and you can react any way you want to. I personally think that nobody's listening to Hollywood, so this isn't a big deal to me. I mean, if you look at, nobody is listening to Hollywood. The Oscar ratings were down, the lowest ever rated. By the way, Ryan Seacrest, his little on the red carpet thing, his little on the red carpet thing was down 46%. So this doesn't scare me because nobody's listening to Hollywood. But here's a little bit more from this idiotic, typical, the same talking points, PSA from the Modern Family cast. Like anybody cares. Here it is.
Someday our lawmakers will stop putting the interest of the NRA
ahead of what's best for our children.
You've shown young people, you've shown everyone, it is not enough to just like posts and retweet.
We all.
There you go. They did it. They just did it. They did it. They did the we all. They did this. Oh, they do this all the time. I'm going to play a parody for you in just a second, and I'll explain what you mean. I made fun of this years ago. This is a formulaic, typical, everybody thinking the same thoughts. Nobody disagrees on the cast. There's nobody on the cast who disagrees. It's a groupthink mentality. It's so cliche. Continue.
Get involved.
And we all have to register to vote.
Yes.
Too many excuses have been made.
Too many lives have been lost.
Yes.
So thank you for taking on this challenge.
We haven't really officially taken on the challenge. We're just watching you do this. You're assuming that your command and call to action has really caused us all to go, oh, yeah, Modern Family cast said it. I mean, the goofball dad there, who's, by the way, brilliant. He's brilliant. He's really funny. Goofball dad says that we shouldn't have guns. That was good enough for me. And kind of like, I don't know, Mickey Mouse saying, don't do guns. Don't care. Or Homer Simpson or whoever, Shaggy on Scooby-Doo. Scoob, you should get rid of your guns. Hey, Scoob, zoinks. Yeah, that was me. I do a few impersonations. If you give me a lot of love here and shares and little emojis and all that stuff, I'll do my Morgan Freeman impersonation before the end of the show. How's that sound? Because I do a Morgan Freeman impersonation that will blow your mind. All right? So if you give me a lot of love in the next 5 minutes and shares, I will do my Morgan Freeman impersonation for you. Here it is.
We'll be right there by your side as a...
No, actually, you won't. You won't, because nobody gets past the velvet rope. So you're not by our side. You live in mansions on hills, and you're not by our side at all. You're up in a mansion on a hill, and you occasionally do autograph signings, and you don't like have your picture taken by us. So you're not exactly right by our side, no.
Americans take to the streets on March 24th.
Making their voices heard at the March for Our Lives.
On behalf of families everywhere.
Never.
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 There they go again. They're doing the rapid fire audio clips.
Never again.
Never again.
Well, that's just, I mean, those guys say it. It's funny. Let me see if I can find my PSA. Well, here's how I made fun of it a few years ago. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting a lot of likes. People want to hear my Morgan Freeman impersonation, so I'm going to do it here. I'm going to do it. Let me see here. Let's see. Hold on. PSA. See if I can find this parody here. Democrat Energy PSA. No, stop. No, that's not it. I know that there's got to be institutional ad. That's what it's called. Institutional ad. Hold on. Here it is. Here's my parody of just what you heard there that I did years ago. Check it out, guys. I think you'll enjoy it. If I can get it to play.
This is an institutional ad.
Institutional ad.
Featuring lots of different people.
From different walks of life.
Or maybe different ethnic groups.
It could be an advocacy.
Advocacy
ad for a political cause.
Or a company trying to rebuild its tarnished image.
Like BP.
Or GM.
Or maybe a politician trying to rebuild his reputation after an affair.
Or lying about his military service.
It's supposed to fool you into believing no matter what the cause.
Okay, here's the rapid fire. This is what I made fun of. Listen to this. Here's the rapid fire.
No matter what the cause.
That we're all in this together.
Together.
But really, it's probably just a load of BS.
Paid for by a front group.
Or by union dues taken from its members regardless of their political affiliation.
Or a nonprofit with an acronym that spells something like
CARE or HOPE.
There you go. So there, I made fun of that years ago. By the way, that was my son in there, by the way. It's probably just a load of BS. He's 18 now. So, yeah, I kind of got it a few years ago. Hold on, let me find some lines from Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption. And I'll do, because that's the best, right? Let's see here. Googling here. Lines from Morgan Freeman. Shawshank. Oh, Shawshank. You've got to share on social media, all right? You've got to share from social media. You've got to make this show gigantic because it is growing dramatically. And you know why? Because it's a frickin' great show. I think this is a great show, right? Let me see. Where's the one with Andy Dufresne? Hold on. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm going to do my Morgan Freeman in a second. But you got to share this. This show, my show. And by the way, I'm going to be on Jermaine Bazzio's show a little bit later on, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern. Jermaine and I interviewed today, and he's spectacular. He's a hell of a nice guy. So I'm going to be on his show. But anyway, please share, okay? We can fight this. We've seen our numbers blow up because of Facebook. But the exception to the rule is this show right here, my show. It's working. It's working. Hold on. All right. You ready for Shawshank Redemption? Let me see if I can find Shawshank Redemption music, too. Hold on here. Hold on. Let me find. I can make some Shawshank music because it's got to be right. It got to have some Shawshank music, right? Trust me, it'll be worth it. Shawshank Redemption. I'll just. Okay. Here we go. Hold on. Shawshank Redemption theme. Shawshank Redemption theme. Okay, it's going to freak you out. We find the theme to Shawshank Redemption, and I will do my Morgan Freeman impersonation. Hold on one second. Here we go. Hold on. Let's just do the long version. Here's the main theme. Okay, hold on. Here it comes. Maybe pop up ad. I might have to skip past here. Real quick. All right, give me the music. There it is. You ready? Are you ready for this? I can see why some of the boys took him for snobby. He had a quiet way about him, a walk and talk that wasn't normal around here. He strolled like a man in the park, without a care or worry in the world. Like he had on an invisible coat that would shield him from this place. Yeah, I think it would be fair to say I liked Andy from the start. I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright. And when they fly away, the part of you that knows it was a sin to lock them up does rejoice. Still, the place you live is in that much more drab and empty that they're gone. I just miss my friend. Not too bad. It's not perfect tonight here. Take away the music here. Morgan Freeman and Shawshank Redemption. I want to thank you for listening to this show. It is a delight, and it is odd that I read from Shawshank. I'm actually a conservative. Okay. Oh, I got to play a little bit of the Baltimore mayor from last night on Laura Ingram's show, because what they're doing is, and it wasn't perfect tonight. Usually my Morgan's a little, I am Morgan Freeman. There, that's a little better. I want to thank you for listening to my show. All right, there you go. Now I've really got it. It takes a second for me to really become Morgan Freeman. Perhaps if you saw Bruce Almighty, you would know what I'm saying. Bruce Almighty saw me, Morgan Freeman, and I said, Morgan, I said, I'm God. Yes, I did. There. Now I've got my Morgan Freeman down, and I can continue to do my show. Right? Did I do it? Ta-da! Name one other conservative pundit that could do Shaggy and Morgan Freeman. Anybody out there? Look at all the love I'm getting here. My God in heaven, look at those emojis. You guys kick butt. Oh. I should mention. Have you guys seen my politically incorrect T-shirts and swag line? I'll go ahead and do this as Morgan Freeman because it's important. I have a line of conservative T-shirts and other swag that's available right now online. All you need to do is go to tpublic.com/conservatees and order one of my fabulous designs. Yeah, tpublic.com, look up conservatees. You get all these adorable, deplorable. Veganism is an eating disorder. Dark State Farm or Deep State Farm, collusion insurance. Murderous commie douchebag, not a hero for Che Guevara. That's how I roll, not political. Democrats only break glass. You got the little binky in there because when they lose election, they cry a lot. And then keep calm, carry one. And they're not all political. Not all the stuff I have is political. But it is tpublic.com/conservatees. I work with a guy. His name is Sam Cangelosi, and he is a genius at graphic design. We have 75 designs at tpublic.com/conservatees. So if you would order, it would be great. You could have like the adorable deplorable, the adorable deplorable. You could put that on a onesie, okay? You could put that on a baby onesie, okay? Or a kid's shirt, or a girl's shirt, young woman's shirt. It's so super. You could put it on pink. It's just wonderful. All right, there you go. You ready to see this mayor? This is the mayor of Baltimore. Laura Ingram called her out last night because basically she is the schools in Baltimore are a frigging mess. Baltimore is a frigging mess. It's the most dangerous. It is the most dangerous city in America. The most dangerous city in America right now. It is. Baltimore school system, a 10-year low in enrollment, $130 million deficit for 2018, 115 personnel layoffs. Nobody in the 13 high schools in Baltimore is meeting any requirement with regard to the standards of education, mathematics, reading, etc. It's a frickin' disaster. But the school board, the PTA, the teachers union, and this idiot all support busing 60 buses of kids down to the anti-gun rally, all right, in Washington, D.C., which is on the 14th. So I'm going to start with a little bit of this. It gets really, I'm going to pause it periodically because watch the mayor. This is a new mayor, Catherine Pugh. Just watch her. It's stunning, and she tries to completely filibuster the interview. Here it is. Come on. High CPU usage, you see. Come on, give me my interview. Hold on. Now I got to hit play. And I got to, hold on, let me try it again here. I'm sorry. This is what happens when you don't have a producer to help you produce. Let's see here. All right, hold on one second. It's down here. Hold on. I'm going to try one more time. See if I can get it to play, because it's being weird. Now, this just sucks. I need to get a new computer. That's what I'm going to have to do. Let me try that another audio bite and see if I can get it to, or sound. Yep. That's weird. That one's playing. All right, but Laura Ingraham does not want to play for some reason. Let me go ahead and I don't know what else to do, to be quite honest. But that kind of ticks me off. Okay, we won't play Laura Ingraham and the Baltimore mayor. How about that sound? We won't do that. Let's see. Oh, I had mentioned, this is kind of an interesting story. Ugh, it makes me mad. I had this great audio and video that I wanted to show you, but unfortunately it doesn't work. Gubernatorial candidate in Wisconsin launched a campaign on Tuesday. She's a Democrat candidate for governor. Her name is Kelda Roys, and she breastfeeds her daughter while discussing her efforts to ban toxic chemical used in baby bottles and sippy cups called bisphenol A. That's the name of this stuff, bisphenol A. Listen, I think we overreact with breastfeeding. I don't give a crap. It's a glorious thing if you could do it. My wife did it for both of our kids, and I think it's beautiful. And I'm so tired of people being uptight about breastfeeding. I'm not saying that this is a big deal. I'm just saying I could understand you're real and you're a mom and everything, and maybe you got a baby stroller in the commercial, you're pushing the baby, maybe you're holding the baby, rocking the baby. Do we really? I didn't want to see a poopy diaper being changed. I'm not comparing the diaper changing to breastfeeding, but at the same time, there's a time and a place. Kind of personal. Can you imagine a poopy diaper? Hello, my name's Rob Carson, and I'm a candidate for Congress. Oh, what did you eat? My God, hold on a second. When I get to Washington, D.C., it certainly won't stink as bad as this, because I'm gonna make it smell better, and we're not gonna be so full of crap in Washington, D.C. like this diaper. Oh, here we go. I'm dry heaving now. I don't think you need that. It's a little personal. It's just a little bit personal. But here's the commercial with mom breastfeeding the baby, because I guess it makes you more real to women to breastfeed your baby on your commercial. Oh, that's cute. That is just cute there.
State Assembly, I learned about BPA, which was a toxic chemical that was totally unregulated, and it was everywhere. It was in can liners and in baby bottles and sippy cups.
But it certainly wasn't in boobs. Breasts.
And it gets into whatever the baby is drinking. And this was horrifying to me. How could our government let this dangerous chemical be in all these products? So I said, well, Wisconsin is going to be the first state to ban BPA in baby bottles and sippy cups.
That's noble.
I was putting together my legislative update, and I went door to door to hand it out.
That's grassroots politics, people. That right there, that right there is grassroots politics.
It's one door, and even before it opened, it was a summer day, and I could hear the sound of kids. Woman opens the door, and I kind of hand her my legislative update and
said, "Your cans in your cabinet are going to kill you. They're going to kill you."
And slam.
Maybe it didn't go that way.
The door and runs back to deal with whatever her kids are yelling about. I'm off to the next house, already up the driveway.
Whoa, was Dad breastfeeding? It's okay.
And I hear her calling after me. And she said, I just read that you are working on the BPA-Free Kids Act. Yeah, and I start to tell her, bisphenol A is a neurotoxin.
It's a glorious, it's a wonderful thing. It's a bond between a mother and a baby that, most men will never, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's possible for men to do this now. They have nipples. Remember, Meet the Fockers? Anyway, a little bit more from the candidate there, breastfeeding.
Said, I know. Our daughter's had some problems, and the doctor said that it's because she was exposed to BPA.
She's like, instead of Aaron Brockovich, she's like Aaron Bubovich. Okay, that was not so good, man.
It means so much to me that you're taking this issue to heart. That's what's wrong with politics today. Are we taking our orders from people, or are we taking them from...
Politicians suck, like my baby's doing to me right now.
Chemical corporations that don't care
Yeah, that didn't work so well, yeah.
at all about what people need. We still were able...
What are they doing like the Democrats? They like people sucking on the government teat. Probably a different candidate, different style. Not such a good thing.
By working across the aisle, passed a bill to ban BPA, and Wisconsin was indeed one of the very first states to do that. That was an incredible moment because you realize...
Is she going to burp the baby here? Just, Okay, a vote for me. Paid for by babies who eat breast milk.
How totally important the work that we do is.
Oh, here we go. Daddy's going to change the poopy now. Daddy's going to change the poopy. Here, Daddy.
About
Daddy, change the
helping
poopy.
every person achieve his or her potential. And Wisconsin used to do it so well. Democracy only
Most politicians are full of what my baby's diaper is full of. Vote for me. I thought you'd like to see that. Whatever. I don't care. Maybe it's a positive thing. Maybe I always say that connection is important as content. We have to connect, guys. Maybe you connect with me because I try to be funny, and I think I usually succeed. Maybe you connect with me because I cook. Maybe you connect with me because we have the same political ideology in some ways. I don't know. Connection is important, but I'm never going to lift my shirt and have a baby suck on my boob. Unless you do a lot of shares, then I might consider it. Okay. What else can I cover before we go? Well, this is interesting. New York Times was forced to make a massive and humiliating correction. They were doing a piece about Donald Trump's tax cuts and how they would increase taxes on the middle class. Problem is, New York Times made up an imaginary family. Like the Modern Family people. They made up an imaginary family. Turns out, they said that this family, this one that they made up, would have to pay, under the 2018 bottom line, $3,896 more in taxes under the new law. Turns out they did a little fact check, and actually, as a result of the tax changes, the decline would be $43, not a rise of $3,896. So they had to issue a correction because they made up a family, okay? But then, by the way, another organization looked at the numbers again. Wall Street Journal. Daniel Hemmel teaches tax law at University of Chicago, said the Times got it wrong after they refigured it. Turns out the family would actually get $1,500. So, kind of bad. Let's do a little, this is kind of a funny little quick story before I go. Should I stay or should I go? Only have an hour. There's a funny video of a guy in Australia who has created a manned ball pit. You know the ball pit at McDonald's? They never had ball pits when I was a kid, but now they got ball pits. Everybody's got a ball pit. Ball pits are fun. I would love to have an adult ball pit. Really, it'd be spectacular. But this is an Australian ball pit. Before I go, this is a viral video. This is what an Australian ball pit looks like, ladies and gentlemen.
Round 2 of the VB shed. This one's got a bit of a twist to it. Oh, nice.
There's your ball pit.
This is the shed in full action, guys. You didn't believe it before. Believe it now. The VB shed. And some guys actually commented that'd be their dream ball pit. Well, this is your dream beer pit, guys.
Yeah.
And only the Royd could get in it.
Oh, you know what?
Excellent. The VB shed at its finest.
Dear God.
And there you go. Now you need a VB, hey?
You know what that is? It's probably Foster's Lager, Australian for beer. Yeah, I do accents too. Not only do I do accents, occasionally I do Morgan Freeman. And I want to thank you for joining me tonight on the Rob Carson Show podcast. Before I go, I would like to remind you to order a Pit Barrels cooker. Just go to liberty1tv.com/cooker. Right there. Andy Dufresne never had a cooker like this when he was in jail, but he did have one in San Wataneo. Also, don't forget Conservatees. Conservatees is my line of politically incorrect T-shirts and other swag. Right there, tpublic.com/Conservatees. This is Morgan Freeman for the Rob Carson Show. Make sure to order any one of these wonderful designs. tpublic.com, Conservatees. Thank you. That was me. Look, Conservatees. If you don't believe me, now you can watch my mouth actually do it. There you go. All right, because normally I have this mic in front of my face. Thank you for watching. You guys are absolutely kick-ass. You guys make my day every single day. It is amazing for me, this glorious podcast. I can see you react. I can read your comments, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Want to thank Jeremy and Lisa and Tracy and Gary and Mary and Sherry. Gary, Mary, Sherry, dear Lord. Linda, William Fennedy, who won that killer Kumidar, Harold, all you guys around the country, God bless you. God bless you. Hands clasped for the victims of the Florida shooter, the families and surviving members. Hands clasped for them. Hands clasped for you if you need it. If you're struggling, if you're suffering, I wish you all the best. Please, if you can, help me out by ordering a Liberty One cooker there, a Pit Barrel cooker, or ordering one of my swag items, or even becoming a monthly sponsor on patreon.com, Rob Carson Show, because I don't have a job. And I don't know where the rent's going to be coming at the end of the month. All right? So thanks for enjoying, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it.
God bless you.
Hold on. I got to turn this down. I got my volume up over here. I'm so professional. God bless you. Have a glorious evening, and I will see you. Follow me on Twitch. I'm going to be doing another broadcast on Twitch, twitch.com coming up. Twitch.com/Rob Carson Show. Just follow me, okay? I need affiliate status. It's becoming a big deal over there. And if this happens, we're going to make some money. We will make some money. And I'm going to continue giving great prizes to you and stuff. All right. Talk to you guys tomorrow night. See ya.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram. I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.